Hello and welcome to Mike Martin Asks. This week we have Peter Drew with us, all the way from, well, down under for me. I don't know if these states call it down under. He's been online since 1995. Very well respected in the SEO community. I think he's been doing SEO since pretty much SEO began. And he's been building websites and domains since before Google owned Google. So, this guy really knows what he's doing, because in our industry, it's very, very difficult to remain in business even a couple of years. You have to stay on top of what's working. You have to stay in the forefront of technology, and you have to be a proper smart dude. So that is why I've asked Peter on here today, so we can pick his brain and go through and hopefully learn from his long-term career so that we can implement it into ourselves. Peter Drew, tell us who you are.
Hey, Mike, how you going, mate? So, my internet story. Look, I don't know how much time you got and how deep you want to go, but it started
Knock
in
yourself out.
1995. I saw an ad in the local paper. You know those freebies that they chuck on your front lawn? I got
Mm-hmm.
that paper, and in the classified section, remember classifieds? There was a little ad, and it said, there are 50 million people online now. By the year 2000, there'll be a billion. Contact blah blah blah, contact us. And that just boom. So I was there. I, there was I'm not sure if it was email address or it was a phone number, so I phoned him, and the prick said, oh, that was just a test ad to see if anyone was interested. And I said, have you got the book? He goes, oh no, we're halfway through it. And I said, I'm coming over. And so I went over and met him, and I had a look at his book, and they had an office with he had two staff, and they were just trying to figure shit out. And it was all about affiliate marketing, which of course back then I'd never heard of. And so I kept in contact with him, and I got the book after about a month, and just that title sold me. And at the time, my wife and I were renting a little house, and I thought, but luckily I had a lot of experience with computers, building my own computer, so I was very computer savvy for 1995, and I think I had internet. I can't remember what speed it was back then, but it was painfully slow, of course. And so that's what got me into it. And I said to my wife back then, listen, I feel really good about this. How about you give me 12 months? You keep working. Let me stay at home. I'm going to build an office in the house and I'll see if I can do it. And after 12 months of trying to figure it out, this is back in 95. I was averaging 500 USD per week. And the exchange rate back then was 50 cents to a USD dollar. So that was 1,000 Aussie a week, which was good money back then. So after 12 months, we decided I'm going to keep at it. And it kind of took off from there. Look, man, it was fascinating times. Like, I've never worked from home before. Um, Working by yourself from home, like, that's a learning curve for most people. Lucky I had, we were renting a two-story house with a granny flat underneath. So after 12 months, I kicked out the tenant we had in the granny flat. I moved my office down there, and that was when I got serious. God, I think that's 28 years ago. God damn, time flies. I'm 58 now. I'm 59 next in 2 months. It's amazing how time flies. But it took from that point on. It took me on the fifth year. My accountant told me it was the first year we turned over seven figures in the first in a financial year. So that was a massive milestone. We all kind of celebrated. It was epic.
What year was that?
That would have been 2000. 5 years from
Okay.
1995, yeah, 2000. So that was the first year we turned over seven figures in the first in a 12-month period. Um, and what I've been thinking a lot about this because I'm writing a course at the moment, and I'm telling people my history in the course. And you know what's fascinating about the internet back then compared to here? Like, people back then, so we're online trying to make money, but people were scared to put their credit cards in websites. There was two places where people put credit cards in websites: porn and personals. So it was personals where I made my money in Friend Finder Inc. And I got massive lessons out of that. I sent millions of people to Friend Finder Inc. And that I think we got either $1 or $2 per free sign up, or a recurring commission of 20% maybe. So it was, we didn't know. Um, we were always experimenting which way to send traffic to them, but we sent literally millions and millions of people to that site using different varying traffic tactics. One of which I probably won't go into now, um, but the one thing I learnt from that is that I think it was 98 or around 1998. Friend Finder Inc. sold to Murdoch for $970 million. It was the biggest internet purchase at the time. And here I am thinking, fuck, I've sent millions of people, millions of customers to this site to build it up. I was always, for 2 years, I was in the top 5% of affiliates for that company. And you know what I saw when they sold that company for $970 million? Jack.
Fuck
Nothing.
all.
I saw nothing apart from my affiliate commission.
Did,
And
did they
so
honour the
that's when
commissions still, or did they stop paying you that as well?
no, still kept getting the recurring commissions. But it hit me like, God, I helped build this fucking company. And what am I getting out of it? Nothing. So that's when I learned I've got to get my own affiliates, what people working for me. Like, this is ridiculous, building up these companies and getting nothing for it. So that was a big shift in my mindset from that point on. What? Oh, God damn, I'm stuck back in the 2000s.
Takes a certain kind of person as well, doesn't it? I've found out of probably every 100 people I know that have set up a business, 2 might make it, and the rest can't kick themselves up the arse. When they've had a rough night, they won't get up with a hangover. They'll stay in bed and watch telly and think, I'll do it tomorrow. And they won't
mm,
get up every single day and do what needs to be done when they can't be bothered, especially if a decent Netflix series is on that they want to watch, or a new
wow.
film comes out they want to watch. A lot of people are like, you know what, I'll just, and straight away it's like, yeah, you're not going to be in business in fucking 18 months' time.
Wow. See, I couldn't even imagine that. I've been lucky that, like that first house, we had separate boundaries. There was work and there was home. And I had to have really clear boundaries with my wife. Work is work. Don't fucking talk to me. When I'm at work, I'm fucking working. You know, don't come down and fucking harass me about anything. And I set those boundaries really clear in the beginning. And every house we've had since, I've always made sure that there's a physical, like we've always had properties, like the next property we had a massive garage, so we converted that into an office space. And then the next one after that, we bought a house up on a hill, and it was a big two-story joint, and underneath was a 5-car garage. The guy built the house, and he was a mechanic underneath. So my dad helped me, and we converted that into offices, and that was epic. And then we sold that, and we bought this place we're in now, which is a 3-story joint, and the whole bottom floor is converted to offices. So it's been really clear that I can walk out of home and walk into work, and I'm at work, and it's really important the kids know it. So it's really, really important to have those boundaries when you work from home. God damn, I've been working at home for 28 years now, man. And
Yeah, most of the
it's
guys you hear struggle. That's exactly what they say. My wife won't stop mithering me. She wants me to do that. She wants me to go shopping. And sometimes I'll say, we've got this meeting on this date at this time. He's like, I'm just going to go shopping with the missus, then we'll get back. And it's like, you've got to have. And I was saying to someone last week, we were talking on here, and we were on about that you can't do it without a good partner, a good partner who understands. It's like, work is work. Leave me a fucking alone, and you'll never have to worry about money.
yeah, exactly.
But it's still a job.
It's weird, man. Like we're extremely fortunate people. Like like when you have kids, you get to hang out with lots of families because the kids have friends and soccer and school, whatever. And I think my wife's the only wife out of all the wives that doesn't have to work. So like from that first 12 months where she worked while I learnt the trade, so to speak, she hasn't worked a day since, and it's been epic. She knows what she's got her life, and you know, she hangs
Yeah,
around with
we've
other.
got the exact same situation. My missus, I remember going to, I remember going shopping with her one time, and I was the locksmith. You know about my career at the
Mm.
beginning. I remember saying to her, "Shit, my drill's broke, and I've got no fucking money." And she borrowed me 40 quid so I could get a drill from Aldi, right? So it was a
Yeah,
piece of
yeah,
shit, but I needed it to go and finish off these jobs so I could make some more money. And I remember saying that to her. And I remember when she fell pregnant with the baby, I was like, "Right, you quit your job, you become a full time mother, and you never have to think about money ever again."
yeah.
And it worked. It worked
Mm.
really, really well. And I don't think when you've got kids, that's a full time job in its own. I feel like I get the
Absolutely.
better end of the stick
Yeah,
because they've got, or my missus has got to do the kids, she's got to do the school run, she's got to do the housework, she's got to do the shopping, and she's got all these other things to respond. And mine's just literally a case of coming to work and saying, right, if we've got more money by the end of the day than we had at the start of the day, things are going in the right direction.
I know. The last car we sold was a little. It was a new little Mercedes turbo four-cylinder thing, economical. And she's so busy. She's spending $100 a week on fuel. So I don't know what she's doing, but she's busy. And we just got a new Tesla, which is fucking epic. I love that fucking car. But
I've got an electric Mercedes at the minute, and we would like nearly a 2 year wait for a Tesla, and I was like, "Fuck that! Just get me anything.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
buy me whatever available now. I'm not a wait around her." And it's this
nice.
4 wheel drive electric Merc,
All
and
right.
I don't like it. It's, I prefer me diesels, me that you know you can pull a horse with, or you can drive up a
Mate,
mountain with, or you can hit things and not have to worry.
Mate, I've had two AMG. I've had a lot of Mercedes, but I've had two AMG Mercedes E55s, a supercharged 5.5 liter V8, and the ML63. And this Tesla shits on both of them. Like it's that fast. That's why I love it. It's incredibly
Yeah,
fast.
the rockets, aren't they? The Teslas. They're doing a
It's
2 second car this year, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. Well, the one
Production
I've
for
got
the
does
normal
0 to
people.
60 in 3.9, but I'm getting the latest Model S Plaid isn't in Australia yet. When it comes into Australia, then I'll get one. But that's fun. But funny you mentioned that. I was thinking before I started the internet, my wife and I had another business. We were talking about our wives, and we borrowed $30,000 from her parents at the time to buy this business, and it was good because I made so many mistakes with that fucking business, and we weren't making money. We were making barely enough money to survive each week, and then we sold it, and luckily we sold for the same amount that we bought it for, so that was good, and we could pay back that debt. But we made always we had a, okay. Here's the business. It was called Serendipity Float to Relax. It was a float center. You know those float tanks where you open a float
Yeah.
tank, you're lying in salt water, and you close the lid and it's dead silent and you're floating in this heavily salted water. Well, it was a center for one of those, and we did. I was a therapist back in the day, so I did counselling out of there. I run different personal development groups, and I was really good at what I did, but terrible at making money. Like I didn't have the self confidence to charge what we were deserved, back then. And different story now, but it was a good business, but it burnt me out, and but we made lots of mistakes in that business, which
Good, good business 20 years too soon. Because nowadays, them things are fucking, people love them. You
yeah,
got people
because
like
of
Joe Rogan
Rogan.
and that talking about
Yeah, yeah,
having one in his basement.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, they're great. Like we had weekend workshops where people would sleep in the tanks all night. It was full on, man. It was a good business, but I was very very green in terms of business. Excuse me.
Yeah, they say with them tanks, they say if you like you have a joint or something before you go in, you smoke a bit of pot before you go in, and then you go in and you don't let any of the stresses or worries of the world come to you. And once you've led there for a while, because it's like you're floating, it's like being literally you can have like out of body experiences and all sorts
Oh,
of stuff. So they're
for sure,
huge
yeah.
now. People love them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't smoke pot back then, but we had customers who did, and they'd come in just after a smoke and then lay in there for an hour or 2 hours or whatever, and then get a massage before or after. And it's a really good experience. I love it. I haven't had one for a while, but I look forward to doing it again. I'm going to stop smoking soon, and I think I'm going to go. There's a retreat about 20 minutes from here where I can go for a week and get a couple of massages every day, and I'll do that to detox from smoking.
I remember you telling me you were going to stop smoking about 2.5 years ago.
Hmm. Well,
It's fucking
well,
hard, isn't it?
I did about 12 or 6 months ago, and after about a week, I ended up having a really big blue with one of my kids, and it was purely because I stopped smoking, and so I started smoking again. I was horrible. It was terrible. So I, I started smoking again because it just wasn't worth it. Because when I stopped smoking, physically I'm fine, but I just get so angry, and anything can trip me off. So I didn't want to be angry with you. That's why I'm smoking tonight, mate.
You don't want to come on every time I ask you a question. Fuck off.
Yeah.
No. So moving forward, obviously
Yes.
you fell in. You didn't fall into the internet, but you kind of found an ad. You've tried to figure out what they were talking about, and then
Yep.
eventually you fell into the internet, which is great because that's give you the rest of your life. What if I was to say, right? So let's say you jumped throughout the years. You've always stayed at the top of the game. You've always been current, like we was talking about ChatGPT and stuff like
Hmm.
that before we came online.
Yep. Yep.
What are you doing right now? What things are you doing right now that's paying
So,
the bills? That's making it work?
mate, I've I've literally never been busier. Um, I've had a series of SEO softwares. Originally, Brute Force SEO, which was a massive success. I think when we launched that back in 2008, that was around 157 USD per month. And I think from that launch, I think we had about 1,300 subscribers, and that was just phenomenal, phenomenal success because it just worked incredibly well, and we got a really good run out of that for a couple of years until the algorithms changed, and then that was put a big dent in our income, and then we changed our methods and strategies, focusing on building products that relied on Google entities itself, like YouTube, Google Sites, Blogger, what have you, and they worked really well in the search engines. I created a product called Hangout Millionaire, which was a live streaming product for YouTube, and that worked really well. And then we bought Evo back a few years ago, Evo 2, and then our most current one is Evo 3, which still relies on YouTube. But over the time, like, how, I can't guesstimate how many videos we've spammed to YouTube through all my customers. It would be tens of millions. But so I've always been in a war with Google, and currently they're winning in terms of they're not they're not restricting us from producing content on YouTube. Their they their spam bots are getting better at diagnosing who are our users, and they're attacking the Google accounts. So we decided to get away from using Google accounts altogether, and we came up with what's called Evo 4, which is 100% cloud-based platform using really high DR bucket sites, which means you don't need a Google account, and you don't even need to download and install software. You can just go to our site. This, by the way, this isn't live yet. This will be live probably in about 6 weeks, and it will rank. It's probably the most powerful SEO software I've ever created, and people don't need to download software. They just log into the site, pay the monthly fee, and speaking of AI, and just in the last month, we've introduced ChatGTP and other AI APIs into that. So it produces content, it produces articles, it discovers keywords, it creates original image content for your sites. So that's epic. And but
So this
then
is to be used on like blog style sites. Is this for like blog style sites, like WordPress type
no,
sites, or?
no, no. It uses cloud sites. It uses bucket sites, and they've all got DR of around 70 to 93, and Evo 4 currently has got 11 different sites. So I could show you. I could pull it up and show you if you like. But then, so you collect the content using a ChatGTP, and we've hacked
Go
the
on,
command.
show us. You can share your screen, can't you?
Yeah, yeah.
I love seeing
Okay.
stuff like this, especially. So this is not even available yet
No,
because I
no,
didn't
no.
know we were going to talk
No,
about
no,
this. So
it's really rough. It's not even beta. It's just my version. Only 2 people have got access to it: Bradley Benner and Willie Crawford. So I'll pull it up now.
Bradley's a good SEO.
Yeah,
I don't know
Bradley's
the
a
other guy.
beast.
I like him, me.
Hang on. Now I'll go back here. Click on share. Window. This one. Share. Okay, can you see that?
Yes, I can. Yes, yeah. New project, project name,
Beautiful.
project finished.
I've just got to wait for that pop-up to go away. They annoy me. Okay, so where am I? A new project. So I'll just do stuff that's in there. So that's the project name. Then you got the title, and you can put spin tags in there. What have we got here? Title goes here with spin tags.
So
Right.
you're not writing these for these to actually rank, then, are you? You're writing these to actually implement keywords in them for your links.
No, both. These rank as you'll see in a minute. These rank really well, but they send incredibly powerful links to your local sites or main or high traffic sites. Oh, keyword, that'll do. So put your URL in, and you'll see where these keywords I'll talk about later. So this is the first public demonstration of this software, by the way. Very cool. So
Awesome.
now,
Timed it right, didn't I?
yeah, I didn't even think of it before we started talking. Okay, so let's say you want a title for a roof repair site. So we'll do roof repair. Search titles. And it's going off to ChatGTP, and you can use either of these. So, where's that? Oh, hang on. I don't even know how it works. We'll just use that.
See, if I'd have a click button there, which spun them all together, so you could use the article multiple times.
Yeah, no, that's the next. That's this button. That's this button here. This is just the title. I don't know where Max has hidden the keywords. I'm looking for the anyway. That's for title. There's a section missing here for keywords. That's how new this is. Okay, so say we want how to repair roof, whatever. So this will come any second now. You see this spin text button here? So that's your article
Shit,
content.
right, okay. Cool.
And then you just click on that. There you go. There's the spun content. Click on copy, back to article. Boom. Seriously?
Paste it straight
There is keywords here too, but Max has moved it somewhere. Like we've got another section just purely for keywords. And I don't know where it is. So anyway. So say you want roof repair in summer. Let's create an image, and you can use as many images as you like.
Holy shit. If this worked inside, it's not a plugin though, is it? It's your own software. I was going to say, if this worked inside Magic Page, my guys would fucking love this.
Yeah,
where they could just literally
this is all
couple of...
this is all ours. Yeah. So there's image. Go back to the article. You're
not creating a plugin for it, are you?
No. We could. I suppose we could create an API, but each of these we're using other APIs that cost us money. So I want to put that image in there. I'll put that in there. Boom. Now, how cool is that? Now, so we've got image, title. Normally we got keywords too, but they're missing at this point. Then you go next, and this is where the magic happens. So you can see these are all bucket sites. We're choosing where you want the links to go, like this to your target URL, this way to your target URL, or all of them pointing to your target URL, your money site. So we'll just do that and click next. These are the sites. Very rough at the moment. Like, I've got to do the graphics and what have you. But you just do all that times 10. Click finish. That's your project.
I teach something called single niche PBN, right?
Mm-hmm.
And single niche PBNs that I create literally skyrocket my sites. They're all I fucking use now. I don't do all this other crap. And what you've just shown me, your linking structures, the way you're dealing with it there,
Yep.
you're kind of enabling people to create these single niche PBNs in a couple of clicks.
Ooh. So your people might be interested in this then, I guess. So I'll just finish there. That's your project. That text there is that image that you saw in base 64, which means it doesn't have to be externally hosted. That is the actual image in base 64, and that will present on the web page as the image. Click on start job, all done. You have completely successfully completed that project. Then it will come up down the bottom here, and then you get a PDF report with all your links. Let me have a look at this one. These are all just test ones, of course. Get PDF.
I'd love to get that, play with this when it's ready, and get Keith doing some testing with me. And if it works, yes, we'll run a webinar for it. Because
Oh, beautiful, mate! Honestly, it's magic. Like, so, I'm very, very happy with this product. And the beauty is, you don't. Oh, hang on, I'll go back to you. I can't see you. Oh, hang on. How
there
do I
we go.
stop? Cool. So, look, I'm really, really excited about that. But then bloody Chat GPT comes along. Dude. And that's right down my alley. So, remember I started in 1995. In
Yep.
1998, this is exactly what happened. I had a developer working for me at this stage. Maxim, he's still with me now. He was working from Russia at the time, and I got him to develop a chatbot for me. Do you remember the program ICQ back in the day?
No, I don't remember it.
ICQ was the equivalent then of what Skype is now. Basically same product. So I used that as my marketing for personals, and I created an account on ICQ called Wicked Wendy. And the whole premise was, if you want to see Wicked Wendy's more sexy photos, I've got them listed on Adult Friend Finder over here. It just costs you $1 to join. And people loved it. So on ICQ, I got Max to make me a chatbot on ICQ for the Wicked Wendy ICQ account, which had, I can't remember, a lot of users.
Yeah.
So it was very rudimentary. Like ChatGTP now is an intelligent speech presented technology. Mine was if this, then that. So if they say hi, you say, hi, how you going, sexy? And then if they go good, you go, oh, hang on, what's that? Sorry. And then, so I had to manually answer all of the questions, but it wasn't hard because it was a guy talking to a hot chick. So it's not hard to guess what they're going to say. So
Yeah.
I spent 4 days.
So they thought they were talking to a hot chick and they were talking to you.
Yeah. Well, they're not talking to me. They're talking to a text file. They're talking to the bot, right?
that you created.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And the bot is sending links to her profile, on Adult Friend Finder. And what was I saying? And so I spent 4 days, and I think I slept 4 hours each night and just got in the zone of doing it and then testing the bot, seeing the answers, coming back, and I did that for 4 days straight. And then towards the end, she was getting proposed to all the time. They're having conversations with this bot, and these people are falling in love with this fucking robot. So then I had to come up with answers to say, yeah, just to get them out on the site, and it was really good. Like it was really good for non first English language people. It filled them 100%. That's how good it was. But eventually, so it was nothing like what we've got today. Today, GPT is fucking amazing. It's mind blowing. But I got how powerful it was back in 1998. Fast forward 28 years to now, I'm all over this ChatGTP, mate. It so much so that I've done nothing for the last month but put a course together, and because I need look. People don't really understand. I'll tell you right now. Look, I'll give you an example. This is what I could build in 6 months. Say you've got a student now, and say, just give me a topic that they want to study. Any topic, I don't care.
Psychology.
Psychology, perfect. So you've got a student. Now, that student comes to me. I get them to fill out a form. And all they do on that form is they give up a little bit of information, what they know, who they are. But then they say, then I ask them, who is your perfect tutor? What age, what demographic, what sex, anything. And then as soon as they click next, that perfect tutor who they ask for appears in 4K, realistic, talking to them, saying, hey, Mike, how you going? It's so nice to meet you. Now, that teacher, that tutor, is the best psychological trainer that's ever lived, by far. And that's real. I can build that right now in 6 months with not that much funding. I can do that right now with the available APIs that are in the marketplace right now. So universities are fucked.
I think your camera's just gone off.
Oh, it's good on this side. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, it does. It says, I've just read it. It says recording continues smoothly. Live video will return when their internet improves. Okay, perfect. That was brilliant. So just like,
Okay.
So this is something that you're in the process of being able, because I mean, I guess ChatGPT, you're looking at it's never going to make a mistake, or it won't make a mistake on things like that, because obviously there's so much text and there's so much written about it that literally it can always find the right answer.
Everything that's ever been written about psychology, it's in its database.
Yeah, and it can pull it all back in an instant without even thinking about it, can it? So yeah, the best.
But it can do video as well. It can be the best tutor that you want. So that's for universities. Imagine where it's going to go for the sex industry, man. It's going to be unbelievable. But this is all available right now. So Jordan Peterson, for example, he used it, and he said, so he's written a book, 12 Rules for Life, and another book called Beyond Order. He said to ChatGTP, write me a 13th chapter for Beyond Order in the style of, what was it? In the style of the Christian Bible and the Tao Te Ching. And so in 3 seconds, it was completed, and it was 4 pages. And he said, I read it, and I couldn't tell if I actually wrote that or not. It was that good. It wrote a 13th chapter to a book for him. That's how good it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my guys creating. So I've got quite a lot of writers working for me, and when ChatGPT came out, it was a case of saying you're either fired or we need to figure out a way of teaching you to use your skill to actually tell.
I can give you some advice here. So YouTube is spammed with all these clickbait titles about ChatGPT, about people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's all clickbait titles. And one of the main ones they're saying is it's going to get rid of sales copiers. Sales copiers are fucked. Bullshit. I got ChatGPT to write me the sales copy for my course. And, it was 3 paragraphs of pretty okay text. You put that side by side with the actual sales copy I used, it's fucking piece of shit. But
yeah, but have you tried? Right.
Sorry.
Go on. I'll let you finish first.
Sorry. So with article writers, it's the perfect research tool. It doesn't replace them. It enhances them. They can use that to improve upon any fucking article you need them to write for you. They put it in there first, and it will inspire other thoughts. Shit they didn't think about will appear on the page in front of them. Then they can write about it. Or they can copy one paragraph and continue on writing about it. It will enhance their writing dramatically.
You see, I feel like a skill for the future, right, that people is going to have to learn going forward is, rather than being a good writer, is being a good prompter. So rather
Yes.
than just saying, write me an article about this, they say, right, if you tell it to write an article about this in this style, with this format, with this thing, with that, blah blah blah, and they'll put like maybe 50 words on a page, but they'll be able to write 3,000 words of absolute perfect copy. I
Mm-hmm.
think that skill of being the person that knows how to, like computer programmers can talk to computers, people who can actually talk to AI, learn the language of talking to AI, and how
Absolutely.
to instruct it. It'll be fucking that. I think that's going to be a massive thing for the future.
Absolutely. In my course, I've got the 3 Ws, which I won't talk about now, but the 3 Ws of prompting. And once you understand the three simple principles, it's very easy to get amazing content out of ChatGTP that most people won't. Um, so I'm building a course for ChatGTP, and then after that, um, the main thing is people like this is like the beginning of Bitcoin. I've got a fucking beautiful Bitcoin story. When Bitcoin first came out, I was all over it, and I downloaded the mining software. So my PC that I use for work, 15 years ago, had the mining software running 24/7, and it slowed down my computer, so it was annoying. But I was making $20 a week, and after 3 weeks, it was just the I didn't have another computer at the time, or I didn't think it was worth getting another computer to do that. But it was slowing down my computer and annoying me, so I turned it off. Um, and then over time, I upgraded computers, and I had in my shed, I had all these old boxes. You know how many computers we go through. I had all one section with
Yeah.
all these computer cases. And a couple of years ago, I thought, oh fuck, I've got to clean up this place. So I got my ute and loaded the ute up with all these old computer cases, took them to the tip, and had the hard drive that had that fucking mining software and wallet on it. That when I look back on it, Max and I figured it out. I had 22 Bitcoin in that fucking wallet, and I
Just sat in a computer in your shed.
yeah so I was earning $20 a week, and I did it for 3 weeks. But that was back when the first online pizza, the first delivered pizza was delivered to someone paying with Bitcoin, and that was
Yeah, I remember.
22,000 Bitcoin. Someone paid 22,000 Bitcoin to get a pizza delivered to their home, and it broke the internet. Yay! Bitcoin's real. You can actually buy real product. This guy got a fucking pizza delivered to his door, and they took video and everything. That was back then. That's when you bought a pizza for 22,000 Bitcoin. So I think I can't remember, 5 or 10 Bitcoin a week I was mining, because it was right at the very beginning where it was very simple. So the reason I bring that up is this is where we are right now with ChatGPT. We're at ChatGPT 3.5. It's like the Apple iPhone 3. In 12 months, we'll have ChatGPT 5. In 2 years, we'll have ChatGPT 10. And it's going to be mind blowing. That's why it's important to get in and understand it right now. Where I'm going with this is the reason I'm putting a course together and a mastermind is because, if people have got a company and they want to get social media traffic and branding and sales, the CEO doesn't sit there on his phone and try and figure out how to fucking use Instagram or fucking Twitter. They pay social media managers to do that. It's going to be the same with ChatGTP or AI in general. I'm going to create AI strategists, so we can go to companies and say, let's see how much more efficiency we can build into this company using AI. 10%, 20%, 50%, we don't know. But this is how much you got to pay us, and a retainer. So that's the plan. Hey, I've lost your audio, mate.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I was saying, yeah, an AI efficiency company. You
Yeah,
kind of move into any business and say, let's let's implement AI wherever possible and see how we can streamline your
Absolutely.
business and increase productivity.
Absolutely. And like, there's so many fucking products you can make. Like, I've already built a search engine, an AI search engine, which is going to have so many additional features that you don't get from search. Oh, this is a fucking great story. And you know who built that fucking search engine for me? A 12-year-old kid. A 12-year-old. My mum's sick at the moment, and one of her friends who used to live with her 15 years ago contacted me to find out about my mum. And she said, "Oh, you're on computers, Pete, aren't you?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, I've got this 12-year-old. He's autistic, but he loves computers. He's building his own drop shipping sites and everything." I said, "Great. We got to talk." Like, a 12-year-old fucking genius? Are you kidding me? This 12-year-old kid's building drop shipping sites at 12. So I got him to work with ChatGPT, and he's built me a search engine already. How fucking cool is that? Through very, very
And
simple directions.
he's 12 right now.
Yeah, and I can't talk to him on the phone. Like, I spoke to him on the phone once, but he's 12, but he sounds like a 7-year-old. I can't talk to him. He's too young. So on Skype, we're perfect. I just treat him just like my other fucking staff, and he's great. And if we get a bit confused about something, I'll ring and talk to his mum, and she says, "Oh, yeah, do this." I paid him $100 and for one little task, and he was over the fucking moon. $100. So I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
mean.
mate, I'd put him on salary now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Get him a 15-year contract. There
Absolutely.
you go.
I'm just mentoring him. And the reason I'm giving him $100 is because that's who I spoke to his mum about. And I'm just doing enough to keep him motivated to learn as much as possible and record every fucking project he's done. Like, just building that site is built for me. When he's 18, when he can go to Microsoft, Facebook, Google, whatever, and have this on his resume, that's better than any PhD candidate by far. I built this 6 years ago when I was 12. They go, "Okay,
Yeah,
what
and
do you want?"
nobody gives a shit about PhDs anymore, do they?
Of course not. Particularly when you got,
It's like,
yeah. So I don't know. I'm all over the place at the moment. What were we talking about? ChatGTP, the course, and then with once I've sold the course, that's going to be the prerequisite to get into the mastermind, which I'm doing. So I'm going to get smart people together so we can figure out between us all. Talking about smart minds, the name of my business, the Mind, Fourth Mind Business Institute. In fact, who was the guy who wrote Think and
fourth
Grow Rich?
mind.
The Fourth Mind.ai is the website, and there's nothing there yet because it's not built yet. So I'm telling you about all this stuff I haven't built. It's nearly built, but can I show you the?
Yeah.
I'm really happy with the video I put together for this course. Can I show that? Can I show that to you?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love things like this because obviously it opens your mind up to what's coming and where we should be. And anybody who's watching it will be like, holy fucking shit, man, this is how the guys that are like, you've been super successful, since a lot of people that are doing what we're doing were still fucking drinking off the mum's tits,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're still at the top of the game now, and this is the reason why, is the way you think. It's fucking brilliant. But yeah,
Okay.
share your screen again.
Bloody beautiful. Okay. Here we go. Share screen. Entire screen. Share. Okay. So detach. Play. Are we ready? Okay, let's go. How many of you know what ChatGPT is? Everyone in the audience should know
We're
this.
seeing the file, not the video.
Oh, hang on.
You're showing us where the file is. When you've clicked the file, we're seeing the screen where you've got the Camtasia videos and stuff stored
Oh,
in the
okay, okay,
folder.
yep. Hang on. Over here.
There you go. That's the baby. Yeah. Open that
Okay,
full
beautiful.
screen.
Okay, from the beginning. Are we ready? Okay, let's go. How many of you know what ChatGPT is? Everyone in the audience should know this. There are things coming down the pipeline on the artificial intelligence front that are just going to make your hair stand on end within the next year. There is just so much transformation going on in that domain, and that's been the case particularly for the last 6 months, that it's almost unimaginable. I figure a third of the universities will go broke in the next 5 years. So I'll tell you what ChatGPT is, because you need to know this. And I don't know what sort of technological revolution this is, but I know it's smarter than you. This is a big deal. So this AI system to general language processing model was released about a month ago. It's an artificial intelligence system. It's basically trained on a massive corpus of spoken and or of text. It's derived from models of the world, from the analysis of human speech, essentially. It's not using real-world data yet, but that will be happening certainly within the next year. And ChatGPT analyzes a very large corpus of text, and that corpus is growing all the time. In case you didn't know, the size of the internet doubles each and every year. So I watched Jordan Peterson's talk about ChatGPT, and I'm paraphrasing him here. I went on to it last week and I said, okay, some of you know I've written these books, 12 Rules for Life and then Beyond Order. And this is what I asked it to do. I said, write me an essay that's a 13th rule for Beyond Order, written in the style that combines the King James Bible and the Tao Te Ching. That's pretty difficult to pull off. You know, just one of those things is really hard. The intersection of all three, that's impossible. Well, it wrote it in about 3 seconds, 4 pages long. And it isn't even obvious to me, for better or worse, that I would be able to tell that I didn't write it. That's pretty impressive. But the fact that it could do that grammatically perfectly and quite impressive philosophically. So from what Jordan said, this ChatGPT is smart enough to create a chapter 13 of one of Jordan Peterson's own books, and he can't really tell if he wrote it or not. That gives you an idea of how truly powerful this spoken language text technology really is. Also, there's a computer engineer who works for Tesla. He asked ChatGPT, look, I work for Elon Musk, but I haven't been doing much for the last week. So I need you to write me a 10 bullet points about what I would probably have done as an engineer at Twitter. What 10 things I did last week that were productive and valuable. And oh, if you don't mind, write me the accompanying computer code that goes with each of those projects. And it did that in 3 seconds. And the computer code actually works. Pretty amazing stuff. So now let's get on to a topic that's more relevant to my own audience. I'm referencing Chamath Palihapitiya, who's a venture capitalist and was one of the early senior executives at Facebook back in the day. He said, who's going to be the biggest business loser in 2023? I think that the biggest potential business loser is Google search, as measured by pure profitability and engagement. I think it's easier for me to see where the usage comes from, as opposed to picking OpenAI or ChatGPT in terms of where the usage goes to. And the reason is because I think a lot of people don't still fully understand what machine learning and AI is. Here's a 30-second primer. There's 2 big buckets of work. There's what's called learning, which is how you learn how to make predictions. And then there's what's called inference, which is when you actually type something into the search to get the answer. The thing with learning, and what ChatGPT is revealing, is what it has learned by crawling the entirety of the internet. Currently over 183 billion data entry points collected up until early 2021. There are 5 or 6 other organizations that are capable of crawling the entire web in terms of cost and compute, in terms of the quality of the transformers and the quality of the AI. And so I find it easier to predict the decay in the quality of Google search, much easier than I find it is to predict who will win. Because I think that with enough time and money, Oracle, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, and the Chinese internet companies can all compete. So I think they'll all converge on the same training, which will lead to the same inference, meaning consumers will get confused and end up getting high-quality search results from many varied places, versus today, where Google right now is king. Google could lose 10 to 15% of their usage to these other sites or a lot more. So I think Jamath really nailed it. So this brings us to where we are today. This boils down to who can innovate the best or the most. This creates $1 trillion opportunity for the right innovation. There are multiple $100 million investments being made right now in this space. So the time is now. If you'd like to be a conduit between the new tech and the companies that can certainly benefit from it the most, search Google right now, the Fourth Mind Business Institute. Here you will be kept up to date on the most recent developments and how you can be at the bleeding edge of this technology, especially by comparison to the companies that can benefit from it the most. Search Google, the Fourth Mind Business Institute, enter your name and email address so we can connect. And I'll instantly email you the same information I've passed on to my existing community so you can get started straight away. I've been Peter Drew, founder of the Fourth Mind Business Institute.
That's a fucking
Dude.
awesome video. Do you know what though? It got me thinking. So what's going to happen is all of them are going to try AI. Every single one of them are going to compete on an AI front. So it's going to get so fucking smart because as soon as they've all kind of ignored it, haven't they? And now it's a proven concept that everybody's interested in. It's going to be like Facebook, I mean, they've not ignored it, but they've not done what they could have done with their bottomless pits of money.
They're all going to go down the search path and compete with each other, which leaves opportunities for us to innovate for individual companies, for example. Like I was saying with a tutor for universities. Like universities are fucked. Like they're completely and utterly fucked. As Jordan said, in 5 years they're gone. Like right now, I can create the best tutor for you on any topic, and the tutor I create will be the smartest tutor that's ever lived. And it will be in 4K. It will be exactly what you want. Like when I say 4K, it will be video of that person, just like me talking to you now, but it'll be a bot and it will be smart. It'll be humorous and and while it's teaching you, it's learning about how you learn and it's adapting to who you are as a student and then optimizing its teaching to suit you individually. And it can do that to 10,000 or 10 million people concurrently at the same fucking time.
Fuck.
That's how big this shit is. I can build that right now with the available. There's so much free AI stuff on GitHub. You can download an entire graphics database that's been compressed to 1.9 gigabyte, and it's 80% as good as the best fucking AI image generators on the web. I can download that now and operate it on my computer with my GPU.
Straight from GitHub.
Yeah, absolutely. 10,000
that's where most of the coders get most of what they do from GitHub. Our programmers now, what they're doing, like you've just been saying a minute ago, our computer programmers now, what they do is that the very first thing they do when we say, right, create this module, is they first go to ChatGPT, they tell them to create the code for the module, and they test to see if it works. They then change how they've told it if it doesn't work, and then they tell it to rewrite it and make these changes, and then they test it to see if it works. And if it doesn't quite work, they might go in and manually edit it themselves, but most of the time, they do it, and it just fucking works.
And you're teaching it at the same time you're doing that.
Yeah, so it's getting what it wants. It's learning, and it's fucking, and it's ridiculous. It's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. Where this is going is amazing.
Mate, I sold thousands of products with my chatbot in 1998. Thousands with if this then that sort of technology. Imagine if I had this back then. I would have owned the fucking internet.
Yeah,
see what I mean?
Even if you'd have had this now, you'd have owned the internet. That's what they're doing, aren't they?
Absolutely. So it's a really fun time to be alive for me. Like I'm building the course, building videos. I'm going to run the mastermind. I've got Evo 4 coming out. And in 6 months, I've got a massive startup, a new streaming startup, which is going to take up all my time. But it's a really exciting time to be around. Evo 4 is just by far the most powerful thing I've ever made. And it's the most easiest thing to use compared to anything I've ever made. You don't need, in my business, we always used PC software. So whenever I marketed, I was always restricted to people who had a PC, which was very
Yep.
limiting. 10 years ago, it wasn't that bad, but now so many people got Macs. And what's really difficult is using existing advertising like Facebook, because when it makes a lookalike audience, it can't make a lookalike audience of people who've got fucking PCs. It doesn't. It'll get all these people who are all into SEO, but it won't define which ones have got PCs or not. So my advertising budget is fucking huge compared to what it will be now, because everyone's got a browser. Evo 4 works in your browser. You log in, do what I did. Anyone can do that. You can do it from a fucking tablet, or even your phone if you want to. And
So it's going to work just like a normal SaaS.
yes, absolutely. So that just opens up my market, and I can just advertise. Like, the market's massive by comparison to what Evo 3 was. So that's very exciting.
You've always been massive into video. How are you using AI for video and video ranking now? I'm asking you that from a personal perspective, because I'm building multiple YouTube channels. I mean, we've created a true crime channel. We've created we've created about 5 or 6 different channels. What's the other one? I mean, 2 favorite are true crime and human influencers. And what we're doing is I've got staff who create about a video a day at the minute, putting them up.
Yep.
How are you using AI for that type of thing?
I really don't know, to be honest with you. Nothing's clicking in my mind at this point. If you come back to me, I can think about it and I can definitely come up. But off the tip of my tongue, nothing. I'm dead.
You're not doing nothing. Just because you've been into video for years.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah. All our video is ranking in Google. So all of our video work, like, we've produced fucking tens of millions of videos over the years, but they're all to rank in Google or rank in YouTube. So, but mainly Google. So,
and you're still mainly doing local SEO.
well, not really, but it's just so much easier, like my Google sites. Like, I just promoted my Google site software last week, and so to prepare for that, I watched the original video I made 5 years ago, and it showed, and I'm bragging about all the rankings I got 5 years ago on that video. So I thought, oh, fuck, I'll go and test them. Every fucking one of them was still in Google, ranked the same, up or down a spot. That's fucking Google sites. That's how powerful those fucking things are. So I thought, fuck me. So I made another video. So, hey, check this out. Here's this video from fucking 5 years ago. There's a date. Have a look at this ranking. Let's have a look now. There it is. There it is. There it is. It's all the same. That's why Google sites are so fucking powerful. And Google sites rank for local SEO like nothing. They've got enough weight within themselves to rank for long tail terms. But the beauty of automation is you can just build as many as you fucking like. And once they're there, they stick forever. So how cool is that? That's Google Site Builder by Peter Drew. You can buy that right now.
Yeah, don't miss the opportunity to get it out. Do you still do it? Do you still do any client SEO?
No.
No.
I've got people I help, but I don't have fucking time, mate. I'm too busy developing new software. That's where my passion is creating new shit. And the only people I deal with are people who are awesome fucking people, and the money's not an issue. So when they're awesome fucking people, it's I don't mind investing a bit of time in them because it's easy. Where your typical fucking client can be hard work, and I make enough money not to worry about that.
Yeah, no, I wanted to do client SEO and I've just never been able to find time to do it because everything I'm doing is too all up and down. It's like I'd love to have clients and I'd love to be saying work one-on-one with people and say I'm going to get you success, but it just isn't. It's not possible. And I just wondered if you did, then how. But obviously, it's not something you're doing.
But,
so if people wanted to work with you,
sorry, I get all the feedback for local SEO through all my clients, like all my customers. I'm in hyper connection with my customers, and I've got the best customers. I've got customers that have been with me for 15 years, and so we all connect. And if they want something, if I can make it, I'll make it. And if it makes sense to make it, and it's like I get really full on requests for specific specific upgrades or what have you. But if it makes the software too difficult to use for most people, I won't do it, because it's all it does is increases support work. And speaking of support, we got the best support team. I've had the same 2 support staff for 15 years. They fucking know my stuff better than I do. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why ChatGPT went through the roof on this last out release, because the first ones, I don't know if you was looking at it when it first come out, but it was complicated. It was hard to use. Use this engine, use this engine, use that engine, use the other. Fuck it, and it's like, what the fuck? I was like, come back to me when an idiot can use it. And then this next one came out, and I was like, holy fuck, this is what
Absolutely.
they needed to do. They made it simple.
When Microsoft first released their first AI a couple of years ago on Twitter, you could talk to it on Twitter. That's how they released it. Except they didn't have the moderation filters in place that OpenAI has got. So within 2 days, it was labeled a white supremacist and a Nazi, because people were tricking it into saying all this shit. It was hilarious. So fucking Microsoft spent $1 billion. They're going to change the fucking world. Nah, you're a white supremacist. Turn off.
Yeah, but do you know they've invested? I'm pretty sure they've got a massive fucking foothold in ChatGPT now, and I'm sure that when it goes, I've read this on one of the news channels, so it might not be 100% accurate from what I've read, but I believe that the first massive chunk of all the profits that ChatGPT makes are going to go to Microsoft for it's either a 1 or a 10 billion investment that they've fired at it their way.
Do you know who started this? They started this as a charitable non-profit organization. Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and the Sam Altman, who's the CEO, they started it. And then there was conflict of interest between that company and Tesla Autopilot, so Elon pulled out. Around just after that, Microsoft tipped in $1 billion, and now that it grew 1 million users in 5 days, that proved it was successful. Microsoft has tipped in another 10 billion. So
that's
they take ownership.
What you said is exactly what I read, but I didn't quite get it. I didn't sink it because I read everything. Me just constantly try to absorb everything. And I knew I'd seen Summit, and I thought it's fucking Microsoft are on everything. It don't matter where you go, Microsoft will hands in everything, and it's
absolutely So that's why I'm excited to get away from that and use their technology and create our own shit.
I'm just looking there. I'm sure Peter Thiel's wrote a book, hasn't he? And I'm sure I've got it.
He would do.
Is it the one thing? Wait there. No, it's not the one thing. I'm sure he wrote a fucking book. It might be 0 to 1 or the one thing or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I can't
Brilliant book.
But I know what you mean. Yeah, I didn't read it, but he's brilliant, Peter Thiel. It was Peter Thiel,
yes,
Elon Musk, David Sachs, who were the PayPal mafia, they call them. They're the guys who started fucking PayPal.
Fucking knew I had it. Peter Thiel, 0 to 1.
That's the one. Yeah,
I knew it was the one thing or 0 to 1 or something like that. I knew it had a 1 in it, and I thought when you said his name, I thought I've read his fucking book. I know I have. It's brilliant, and that's because I read everything. Keeps you at the forefront of what you're doing, doesn't it? So if people wanted to get with you and work with you, get maybe onto your training courses or jump in with your mastermind or anything, where did they go? What URLs do they go? Because I can get my team when they do the editing of this to put it in the chat.
It's easy. Just go to peterdrew.net and enter your name and email address to get on my list, and you'll be up to date with everything. peterdrew.net. Too easy.
peterdrew.net. Yep, I was on there the other day. There's a video right in the center of your site, isn't there?
There was, but I removed it just to put the email address in there. That was for my previous course, Video SERP Shifter. Dude, I'm an author. Video SERP Shifter was a course I put together. Like, I've never written a course before. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But I had all this information, and I condensed it into a course. It was 55 pages of content, and I sold it for $2.97, and some discount coupon codes along the way. And I think I sold close to 300 copies. And that's like, it took me 2 weeks to write it. and then a couple grand for a site and what have you. Then I sold it, 300 copies, some $300 USD minus discounts. I made over six figures as an author. That's fucking insane.
Six.
Like, how many
Mate,
authors profit six figures from a
not
fucking
many.
2 weeks' work? So I can call
Not many.
myself an author. How about that? So, but that
Mate,
gave me the confidence.
most
Sorry.
authors don't make six figures a year because they release the books and they don't fucking sell. My most recent book is In a World Full of Sheep. Fuck you, I'm an entrepreneur. That's a cracking book. You should read that.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So that gave me the confidence to do this book, this course. And the beauty, I lucked out because I put a questionnaire at the end of the course, and 22% of the people who bought the course filled out the questionnaire, and at the end gave them the opportunity to put a testimonial. Would they recommend it to other people? Blah blah blah. All these questions, and I wrote the questions as, I don't know how you say it, kind of non-biased. So there was no leading questions. I wanted true feedback. And so I got all these testimonials at the end, which I'll use for this course. I put those testimonials on the sales page of this site and I'm putting that questionnaire in this course. So when people complete that, I'll put all the good ones on the site in real fucking time and the date that people purchase the product and when they put the testimonial. So that's going to be good. So I'm really looking, but this is fucking next level shit. I've got so many notes. I haven't actually put the course together yet, but what I really want to get across to people is that right now, where I was when I was making 5 Bitcoin a week on a tiny PC, that's where we are right now. And the other thing I'll say is, right now we've got a couple of massive silos of companies with enough money to spend on the compute required to run these. With APIs and the free software out there, it's like it's like back in the 1800s when the steel mills came around. There was only a couple of steel mills in each country, and that's where all the fucking steel was made. But as prices came down and smaller steel mills started populating around, the price of steel came down because everyone was competing. That's where we are now. We've got massive, two big silos like Microsoft, Google, Facebook, controlling all the all the AI. But I want to get people prepared when all the APIs come out. So we are like the small steel mills all throughout the world, producing not steel but AI products. And there's so many. Like this fucking search engine I made, I've got 10 features that no one else is doing, and I'm going to share that in the mastermind course, so people can use that because I don't have time to build it. But there are just so many opportunities, and if you leave it for 6 months, you're going to be decades behind other people who get into it right now, because it's accelerating so fast. So as you can tell, I'm very excited about AI.
Yeah, mate, I totally get it. It's fucking, it's ridiculous how quick it's from November last year to now. And I was just talking to my team this morning in a meeting we had this morning, and I was explaining to them all that, look, we have to implement fucking AI into everything we do, because if we don't, all the other companies that are coming along can be 10 times more productive than we can. They can have one member of staff that can outperform fucking 10, and then I'm paying for 10 people and they're getting the same from one member of staff. So you need to, and all my team are focused on basically implementing AI wherever it's possible for absolutely everything they do. But as far as what you're doing is implementing it to create tools, and I think I should be. I just not had the inspiration for it yet to actually a tool where I think that'll solve that specific problem for that specific person. And it's worth for them to pay for it. And the second I do, that's when I'll say to my team, go and fucking build that. And get it ready in 3 months.
Actually, just one thing with YouTube videos, I just had a thought. So if you're into crime, the crime niche, find a popular YouTube channel in the crime niche, and you can use scripts to download all the, what do you call it? Yeah, the text that comes along the bottom. What do you call it?
Oh yeah,
caption. The text that comes along the bottom. What's
get
it
the
called?
captions.
Captions. Thank you. Yes.
Yep.
You can download that as text, put it in AI, get the AI to rewrite it and improve it, put that, then you get the other AI that turns text to speech. Fucking boom, you got a video.
You thieving bastard! I love it. I didn't even think about that.
And then
Yeah, no, the
and then you can
transcript.
use
The transcript is
yeah,
in the bottom.
transcript.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. God damn
fuck
it.
me.
Caption transcript. You download it from a successful video,
Yeah,
get AI to rewrite it and improve it, and then you put that into the audio text to audio AI, mate. That is real. Like the text to AI right now is about 90%. Like I downloaded, what's it called? I've got it right here. It's called Descript, where
we use
I
Descript.
trained. You got Descript?
Yeah, we
Descript.
use Descript. We use Murph. We use there's another one we use, which is the one that's got the best fucking. I can't even fucking remember. We've definitely got a Descript one that we use, and we definitely use Murph. And there's about 3 or 4 different ones. We've got them all because we fuck around with it all the time.
Okay, so you get some talent who's got an exceptional voice, probably a woman. I don't know, whoever suits your niche, right? You get some talent, and they record audio for 30 minutes. Then in Descript, you record their voice, and it captures your voice, that person's voice, male, female, whatever the fuck. Then you feed the script from the other videos, the transcript, put it in AI, rewrite it, improve it, put it in Descript, and then that voice will read it out for you.
Yeah,
Perfectly.
we've got expertsuccessnetwork.com is one of our sites, and I've done a training course on there. But that's pretty much how the training course was created. Is they've got my voice in Descript. So now my staff can create whatever they want in my voice. Like they can create a phone call telling people, "Go fuck yourself." Like,
Oh,
do it.
beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh, mate, I
it's
love it.
fucking. Yeah,
I love
they've
it.
already been on that. But that what you've
Yep,
just said about the transcripts, I'm going to, as soon as I get off this meeting with you, I'm going straight downstairs if the team is still in,
yep.
and I'm going to fucking tell them straight away transcripts.
And
That's a fucking genius idea because the
it's
research has already been done.
yeah, it's perfect content. Yeah, already, and it's proven content. Like you don't go to the
Yeah.
worst fucking crime channel on YouTube. You go to one of the good ones that's already got proven. It's been proven by views. That will work. Very
Well,
cool.
Peter, thank you very much for coming on today. I've kept you on for an hour and 15. We normally try and keep this to an hour, so that's good. It means we were enjoying the chat.
Yep.
Obviously, peterdrew.net, if anybody wants to work with Peter direct or wants to get in touch, I jump on his list and find out what he's doing with the AI world. And we didn't even
Evo4 for
fucking know we were going to
SEO.
talk about AI
My
when we
course
came
for
on.
for AI and the mastermind group is where the power is going to be because I've already got some really powerful people involved who are going to join. And
And is that the fourth mind.ai?
yes, correct.
That's what
I
that's going
can't.
to be
I
in the
don't
future.
know.
I'll
I
keep
don't know
track of
what's
that
on
as
there
well
yet.
because
There'll be another video on there. I think. I don't know. I can't remember.
your video was
I've got
still in
the-
Camtasia, wasn't it? When you shared with us now, so it's
yeah,
obviously not
yeah.
even been fucking
I'm
finalised.
just yeah. Oh, I'm still editing the fucking thing. So I think two other people. One of my mates from school. I showed it to him. He goes, "Pete, what the fuck? That's incredible." He couldn't believe that was me. And another mate who was. So you guys are the third people who've seen this video as of recording.
Well, the third people with probably another few thousand will see this video by
There you
in the
go.
next couple of weeks. But by then, hopefully, it's all up and they can go and play on it. So we will see. But mate, thank
So
you very much for coming on.
so if anyone goes to peterdrew.net and enters their name and email address, just reply to the email that you get and let me know what you think of that video to give me some feedback, whether it's good or it's too long or too short or whatever. That'd be awesome.
Awesome. Right, mate. Cheers for coming
Thanks,
on.
mate.
I'm going to run downstairs and tell my staff now what to do with the transcript. So I'm dead
Awesome.
excited to jump off, but I really appreciate you coming on, mate. And we will catch up again as soon as the software's ready. If you get me thinking, me and Keith will do some testing on it, and if we can get it working at our end, we'll run a webinar with you.
Bloody beautiful. Sounds great. Thanks, mate.
All right, pal. Nice one, mate. I'll
Okay.
speak to you soon. Cheers, pal. Bye.